All right,
Anthony.
so let's get right quick, man, in a quick little overtime segment, man. Let's talk a little bit about Blair the Flair Cobbs, who's going up against Maurice Hooker this Saturday on the undercard of the Virgil Ortiz fight. So we all know what happened with Blair the Flair in his last fight, man, where he was talking, and he ended up getting knocked up out of there. Now, Maurice Hooker also lost to Virgil Ortiz. So it's one of those things where I kind of what I see in the water, bruh, is I see the zone positioning Blair the Flair or Maurice Hooker as possibly a fight again for a Virgil Ortiz. Now, of course, Maurice Hooker, he lost to Ortiz, so it would be Hooker Ortiz too. But if Blair the Flair can beat Maurice Hooker, then it does give Blair the Flair a little rebound as a viable opponent for Virgil Ortiz. So this is what I really think they're doing with this being on the undercard of the Virgil Ortiz fight. So Q, bro, tell me what do you think is going to happen? Do you give the tip of the scale to Maurice Hooker in this bout, or do you think Blair the Flair will bounce back from that KO loss that he took and end up beating Maurice Hooker at this point in his career?
I bet my money on Blair Flair more so just I feel like he has the power edge. He's the bigger guy, and I think he's the most athletic. I think Blair Flair take it. I think he'd be too strong for Maurice Hooker. I won't be surprised if he's stopping. To be honest with you, that's where I'm at with it. I just think he'll be a little too much. That's pretty much it, man. I will be very surprised if Maurice Hooker could. It'll be a big rebound fight for him to come beat Blair Flair. Blair Flair was just outmatched in his last fight, and he fought a guy that wasn't. I don't remember the guy's name, but my man was a very, that's the thing about when you trying to beat a name to go fight the name, you calling all the big dogs.
Right.
You got to fight. He not in the position to pick and choose, and now I think this is. I just feel like this is a good matchup for him to come back. This is a very good matchup. I'm surprised to see it. So I think he'll be able to handle his business.
Man, you know what? I will say this, bro. When it comes to Maurice Hooker, I think this is going to be the fight where this is the last hurrah for Maurice Hooker. And, Maurice Hooker has worked very closely at this point with a Terrence Bud Crawford. So he's had the opportunity to witness and work with greatness on current greatness. This is not even a legend who's, 55, 60 years old working in the midst with you. This is an elite level fighter right now in his prime who's been knocking people off. So I got to admit, man, from what I saw from Blair in that last fight, I don't put it past Maurice Hooker, bro, ending up knocking off Blair the Flair, man. I'm gonna say right now, man, that I really can see that end up transpiring, bro, because that Rocha fight, Alexis Rocha, man, shout out to Alexis Rocha, man, because I think he won his most recent fight too. And Alexis Rocha, he's a real problem. Dude is a real problem. He's a real legit fighter over there on the zone, man. And
that's who Blair Flair fought, right?
Yeah. That's who Blair the Flair lost to. Alexis Rocha, the one who got him out of there. So I got to salute because Rocha is the real deal.
Matter of fact, he stopped Blair Flair, right?
Yeah, he stopped him, bro. Yeah, he stopped him. So
Ortiz, and matter of fact, Ortiz stopped because he stopped my man,
Maurice Hooker.
But Hooker like broke his hand or something.
Right. Okay. So I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a DAZN round robin that's kind of transpiring. But I'm gonna say this, bro. I really do think that Maurice Hooker in a last hurrah, bro. I'm gonna give him the edge on Blair the Flair, bro. I'm gonna give him the edge over Blair the Flair, man. This coming Saturday night, but
Blair the Flair lose the Hooker it's definitely over before he even get started.
Hey,
I just feel like Maurice Hooker, he a little stiff. He not explosive. I just feel like Blair the Flair, he got some explosiveness to him with some power.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really see Maurice Hooker really outboxing him like that. But that'll be dope. It'll be something to see, man. I'm glad we got a little way, we got a little something to really go back and forth at.
Yeah, because I will say, man, the beauty of this fight too, which I'm really intrigued to see it. I'll be real with you, bro. I'm almost more intrigued to see Hooker versus Cobbs more than the Ortiz fight in the main event. To be real with you, because a lot of people expect what's it, McKinnis? I have to look up the name, but a lot of people expect Virgil Ortiz to go ahead and win that fight. Whereas with Hooker and Cobbs, bro, like you said, this is a true crossroads fight. Whoever wins this fight probably is a viable opponent for the zone against somebody, whether it be Ortiz, Alexis Rocha, one of them, and the loser probably could possibly at that point be dropped down a tier for real and not a viable opponent. But we'll see what happens, man. With that being said, man, we outbox